So this video is on comparing fractions. So here we have 2/7, 3/7, and 6/7, and it's easy to see that 3/7 is bigger than 2/7, and 6/7 is bigger than 3/7. But the thing is, what if we don't have the same denominator on the bottom? That's what we're going to look at. So here we drag the 1/2 fraction bar and we place the 1/3 under it to compare the two, and we see that 1/2 is less than 2/3. So if I have 1/3 and another third, the two purple ones, and that's 2/3. So that's the less than symbol. 1/2 is less than. So moving on, 1/2 we're comparing it to 3/4. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So here you can see 1/2 is less than 3/4. Another one. So here we're going to look at 1/5 and 2/8. So I drag 1/5 up and then 1 2/8. So 1/5 is less than 2/8. Let's look at this. That symbol is the greater than symbol. So if I look at these two, 1/3 and 3/10, or 4/10, you see here that 4/10 is bigger than 1/3. So I'm going to put 4/10 is greater than 1/3. So here, if you compare these, I'm coloring in 3 triangles. So 3 triangles that's 3 out of 6. And of course, 3 out of 6, if you look at that. So I colored in 3 triangles, and 3 out of 6 is 1/2. It's 1/2 of it. So 3 out of 6 is equal to 1/2. They're called equivalent fractions. So look at these, 1/2 and 2/4. Are they equivalent? Yes. And here you get 4/6 and 2/3, and those two are equivalent. So this is comparing using a circle split up, comparing them. So 1/3 is equal to 2/6. If you look over here, 3/8 is less than 1/2. And 3/8 is greater than 2/6. And down at the bottom, 1/2 is equal to 2/4, and 1/3 is equal to 2/6. Now let's look at how we've changed fractions. So 1/3 equals 2/6, but how do you change 1/3 to 2/6? You multiply the top and bottom by the same number. So multiply both by 2 and get 2, and 3 times 2 is 6, so 2/6. The example we did earlier, 1/2 was equal to 3/6. So if I multiply times 3 on the top and bottom, I have 3/6, which we did earlier here. So now I'm recording over a video that I did before, and these are the questions from the review, but I'm having trouble seeing them. So we're comparing less than, greater than, or equal to. The first one, 2 and 1/2 compared to 2 and 5/12. I'm going to change them to decimals this time. So first, let's look at just the number line. 2.5, we know it's halfway between 2 and 3, and also 5/12 is somewhere in there between halfway and 2 and 3. So to compare them, this time I'm going to change them into decimals. So first, let's change it to improper fraction. So we get 5/2, and 2 goes into 5 twice. You get 1 left over. So here I got to put a decimal point, add a 0, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. So that's 2.5. Now I have to change this one to an improper fraction. So 2 times 12 is 24, plus 5 is 29. So 29 over 12. 29 goes on the inside because it was on the top. So let's divide that. 12 goes in 29 twice, and I have 5 left over. I add a decimal, add a 0, and how many times did 12 go into 50? It goes in 4 times. So 4 times 12 is 48. I have 2 left over. I have to add another 0. 12 goes into 20 only 1 time. So I get 8 left over. So how many times does it go into 80? 6 times. So 72. I'd have 8 left over. So I get a repeating decimal here. So we're comparing the numbers. 2.5 and 2.16 repeating decimal. So the 2.5 is going to be just a little bit bigger than the 2.1 or even 2.2. So it's a little bit bigger than the 2.1 repeating. So let's look at another one. This is with negative numbers. So I'm going to do the same thing, change it to an improper fraction. Remember not to leave the negative behind. So we got 11 over 3 and 32 over 9. So I divide 3 into 11. The 11 goes on the inside because it was on the top. And I get 3.6 repeating. And I'm going to do the same thing with the 32 over 9. 9 goes into 32 3 times. So 32 minus 27 is 5. I add a decimal point, add a 0. And 9 goes into 50 5 times. So I get 5 left over. So negative 3.6 repeat and negative 3.5 repeat. Which is bigger? The negative 3.5. That might not be intuitive. You have to look at a number line. So let's go to a number line. So somewhere on the number line you have 0, and behind that you count back. So 1, negative 2, negative 3. So here, if you think about it, negative 4 is less than negative 3 because it's more to the left. And in the same vein, negative 3.6 repeating is going to be just a little bit less than negative 3.5 repeating, because negative 3.6 repeating is a little to the left, 3.5 to the right. It gets bigger to the right.